9. New tonight, Governor Katie Hobbs revealed today how she would make cuts to erase an $850 million state budget deficit while spending money on new social programs.
There's at least one problem, though. New numbers out today show the deficit is double what Hobbs budget crunchers had projected. 12 News journalist Bram Resnick has more on what happens now. Bram?
Yeah, Mark, this budget sort of blew up on the launch pad. The Democratic governor's proposed budget was already dead on arrival in the Republican-controlled legislature. Now the job of finding a budget compromise becomes even harder. Hobbs' budget released today proposed putting two major Republican school choice programs on the chopping block. The tuition tax credit that helps families pay for private school would be axed, and new requirements on empowerment scholarship accounts would gut the school voucher program. On the spending side, Hobbs would dedicate $100 million in new funding to keep almost 40,000 low-income children off a child care waiting list. And a court settlement requires $200 million in new state spending to provide health care to prison inmates. The head of the Republican Budget Writing Committee told me he was shocked by Hobbs' ESA proposal.
Originally, she said that she just wanted to put guardrails on the ESA program. Guardrails mean you have things on the side to keep people straight. But what she did was, for half of the participants, she built an exit ramp that goes over a cliff because she's literally dropping half of the students in that program. And that is not going to happen with Republican cooperation.
And Republican State Senator John Kavanaugh says with the new deficit number of $1.7 billion over the next 2 years, the funding for prison health care is the only new spending he would support. So get ready for a long slog at the Capitol where the choices won't be what to spend, but what to cut. And I hope you'll join me for this weekend Sunday Square Off. Democratic Secretary of State Adrian Fontes tells me how he's preparing to respond to the kind of misinformation and attacks on Arizona elections that we saw in 2020 and 2022.
You're going to see a much more assertive attitude against folks who are lying about elections, right? Because what they're doing is creating mistrust between regular citizens where there shouldn't be any. None of the allegations about fraud, none of the big lie has been proven true. So my office is going to take a much more assertive attitude against folks, whether they are elected officials or not, when they do lie. We're going to be calling it out.
Also, our political insider panel shares their takeaways from Governor Hobbs' State of the State speech, and they predict that Kari Lake will use a defamation lawsuit against her as a political prop in her U.S. Senate campaign. Square Off airs at 8 a.m. Sunday on 12 News right after Meet the Press.